Hello, welcome to the number counting thing where it goes up from 0. In this case, it goes to 53%. All right, let's look at how to make that now. Okay, so first up, I've got a project kind of started for us. You can obviously use your own. Go to your desktop, find your exercise files. There's one in called pie charts and it's called number counter. And all I've done for you is I've created just exactly what we did in the last exercise. Instead of having two of them, okay, where we had, remember, tablet and mobile, I've just done one, okay? And the percentage is going to be 83%, and I've just calculated that already. There's just a silly disk in the middle, making it look like a donut. Now what we want to do is add the number counter. First up, we need the text. Okay, so we're going to grab the type tool, click, I'm going to put mine in the middle, okay, and I'm going to type out my numbers. I'm using this font here called Lust, okay, it's free one, well, it's from Typekit. We looked at Typekit earlier. Now what we want to do is we don't want to have the percentage the same in the same text box, okay, so here's 50, actually it's 53%. Okay, it's my top one, and I want to have it in a separate box because the number counter can work here, but it can't append the percentage there. So we're going to select it down here, copy and paste, okay, and it's made it 54, that's cool. Double click it and change it to percentage. Now it's kind of in the way now, just grabbing the tool, sliding it across, I'm holding shift while I'm dragging. Cool, so now we've got these two little units, so we don't need a percentage anymore, it's just this 53 that we're going to be working on. If you are trying to edit other bits, I have locked all the other layers just so you don't wreck it, okay, but if you want to wreck it, unlock them. The first thing we need to do is we need to create something called a slider, okay, and it's going to control the up and down of this and allow us to keyframe it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to effects and presets and type in slider, okay, and in here there's one called slider control. Click and drag it to either here, or it's easier to drag it to the number down here on the layers. Okay, now this is what we're going to connect to it. So we've applied this effect called slider, and the slider just allows you to crank it up and down. It's not connected yet. We need to connect it to one of the attributes within inside of here. Okay, and the attribute that's going to be good for us is the source text. The way you connect these two together, it's the same as when we add an expression. Remember, we hold down the Alt key on a PC or the Option key on a Mac. Click the little stopwatch. Okay, and we've started a bit of expression. Now what we've done previously is just deleted it and replaced it. Now what we're going to do is use this thing called the pick whip, and his job is to click, hold, drag. He's kind of like this little weird thing you can say, I want you to connect to, and let go on slider. Click return on your keyboard, click anywhere else out on the document, and now if we put our playhead back to the beginning, this slider is connected. Cool, huh? So we just need to animate the keyframes, okay, with this little stopwatch here. So at the beginning, I'm going to set it to 0. You can go negative, so set it to 0. Let's start the stopwatch to put in a keyframe. It's up to you. See, we're in this effects controls. You will actually find the stuff down here. There's the effects. This is the slider control. And if you prefer using it down here like we have in the rest of the tutorial, okay, you can see the keyframe there, or use the one up there. It doesn't matter. So how far along are we going to go? What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to get it to start about there. So I want this first keyframe to be 0 at about there, because it's this bar here we're kind of getting it to be associated with. And when it's finished, I'd like to lift it up to 53%. Awesome. Problem is it has fractions or decimal points by default. It's pretty easy to remove. Okay, so it is actually counting up fine. What we want to do now is find that expression that we worked on. It was under text, source text. There it is there. Okay, now what we're going to do to fix it up, okay, is we need to put it inside a parenthesis, so inside a set of brackets. So there's a bracket at the end, bracket at the beginning. So we wrap it up. In the beginning here, we use capital M for math, dot round. No spaces. Okay, click anywhere else out, and hopefully now, okay, it goes up without all the extra decimal points. And that, my friend, is it. All right, we've got a little percentage going in our cool little graph. Yeah, that's it. I will see you in the next tutorial. All right, I'm back for a second. I was just closing up the file and I was like, that might trip them up. Okay, see over here in my panels, we're in this kind of other mode here. Okay, so we're in switches. Okay, actually we're in modes. Now, if I click on this, that's back to how we've been the most of this course. Click on this again. It's kind of a weird button to find. You can search up here, high and low, but look at this guy. Transforms from, we're going to look at these more as we go through masks, but most of the time we're going to be in here with our lovely motion blurs and our 3D. So make sure you set it back after. The reason it switched over is because we're messing around with the expressions earlier. All right, as you were.